How's it going, Overarch fans? Welcome to the UGC League, where we're currently hosting Season 14, Week 4, with Multicoasters and Powerhouse. I'm not alone today. Today I've got the full UGC production team here. Xiuna will be your cameraman for today, a longtime admin of UGC. I'll be your play-by-play caster, kind of going back and forth, and I'm joined here by my buddy Guthix.
Hey, JJSkywalker, always a pleasure to cast with you for UGC Leagues. We have an exciting match here coming up here. Powerhouse and Multicoasters both coming in to their fourth match 3-0, trying to stay undefeated going into this season, and both teams coming in with a very strong roster on both sides. I'm really excited to see how this one plays out.
Yeah, agreed. I mean, we're going to be seeing top tier, intermediate, almost getting into those kind of like low end premier gameplays. But either way, high end, high practice, all the way going in out of all maps, King's Row, something everybody's into. So we're looking at a death ball here coming in from the defense, going in with that Reinhardt, going with that sniper, with Irie. But on the opposing end, strange, a little bit of Symmetra, a little bit of double, as well as that Bastion coming in from behind.
In the RAC, they're setting up the teleport on the tower, on the statue. Here it is with the Ryan Sigma, pushes the team. It just pushes the team back, and CYB just walks onto the point and finds the elimination. Yeah, and now, look at this. There's only 33% build up and more.
Yeah, no, this is crazy. I mean, already at the beginning, losing Irie at the beginning and Hanzo is just big. Less damage coming out overall. Immortality field was not enough. Bastion had the high ground there, and at that point it was over, it looks like it.
That's a very common strat. You see some teams that commit to that strat, putting the Bastion on top, gas, finding the pressure on Multicoasters, on the blue team. They just couldn't deal with him, and now they're using a teleporter to just get so much space here.
No, I love it. I mean, when you look at Death Ball, it is on vertical. It's unvertical. Like, simply put, with that Symmetra, they're able to do so much with a Reinhardt that is not normally possible. These strategies are so different, but either way, Multicultures comes out using that immortality field. They keep themselves alive and push as much as they can, but Ogre Punisher takes a little bit too much going forward. It's that Bastion that is just putting in the suppressive fire, dealing out too much damage that this team cannot ask for. Multicultures backing away. They gotta rethink the strategy. They have to put some kind of burst damage on this Bastion that doesn't allow for this sustained damage to go through.
You see Gas is getting the support from Lekka, and it's just being pocketed, keeping the team supported. Double window being used from both Baptiste sides. Cher coming out, trying to find some pressure. Ultimates being used left and right, and looks like the Multicoasters are coming out on top with eliminations.
Yeah, no, agreed. I mean, every ult has come out here. Symmetric Barrier, Earth Shatters, Amplification Matrices, now High Noon in the background. K able to get Lilac out of the way, and now it's almost an even fight as Multicoasters are finally able to get their defense back together. What a crazy amount of ultimates. That has to be a clip there. I've never seen a Lucio bop a sound barrier on top of the Reinhardt's head. That's a new one.
And so many ultimates were used on the side of Powerhouse. They seem to be switching off the Bastion, running more of a traditional Brawl, Death Ball composition. Lilac does have the sound barrier for the Zarya Graviton, and it's being used, so probably be used here. Keep the team up with the Immortality field. Exactly, Lilac keeping the team supported, but Ryan does fall. CYB falls, and with the main tank down, they're gonna have to be set back.
Yeah, it's a double Batiste going against each other. It's all about that immortality field. The immortality fields are basically coming in at the same time. Whoever's goes down first is over. And Ogre Punisher, he just I'm sorry, not Ogre Punisher. CYB was actually caught out this time. So both sides are kind of seeing kind of like that Batiste war going out between them. Either way, it's that area where people are going to start getting their ultimates back since all banks were basically used. Multicoasters looking great though. They've basically kept a good rotation for themselves.
Double window coming into this fight. The Baptiste Wars, each of them as both teams rolling in, Shatter being used. Both sides doesn't hit anyone. And those windows, JJ, the windows cover the entire card. Card just sitting right in between them. It's a death zone if you're trying to get through there.
Death zone is the best way to put it. 1 for 1 on both sides. DPS down, but tank down on the opposing. It's a hard place right now for a Powerhouse to be, as they're going to just be taking pure damage. But luckily, Multicoasters kind of backed away their defense a little bit. It's a little bit of time for reinforcements that they got to hold. Multicoasters looking great with their ultimates. Already Graviton coming behind. K with the High Noon. Something's going to start up here.
They start off, and Reinhardt on Ogre Punisher almost gets walled off. High Noon being used. Graviton Surge comes out before Lilac has the beat. That was key. Lilac 5% away from the sound barrier to protect his team. Does not have it in time, and that is a free grab and team kill, and a stagger kill also, as well as K picks up the final eliminations to send Powerhouse back to their spawn.
2 minutes left, 4 good fights left, and Irie deserves the MVP on that one. I don't know how that man did it, but I guess he went into the sky, somehow sniped K in the middle of his High Noon. At least that's what I believe I saw. Either way, we're going forward into the next fight. Multicoaster's holding on to a lot of defensive ultimates, already starting off with the High Noon.
The window, look at that perfect placement just to push the team back, and they have to wait. Powerhouse has to wait that out, and now they are being aggressive with this Blizzard bubble being used perfectly. Get the Rhine now. Now Toxic coming out with the beat bomb. There's no right shield. The Pigeon gets 2. And there, the momentum has switched as Powerhouse cleans up the rest of the kills.
These teams are ruthless. I mean, looking at that combination, the Earth Shatter hitting the backside, Diva Bomb into the sky, it was over. Reinhardt knew that it just needed to be a game of survival. Keep less ultimate charge off of Powerhouse's agenda, if you will. We're pushing on to phase 3. Again, we're back to a blank slate. It's all about mechanical play here.
All about mechanical play. Ivory does have the dragons. Can zone them off a card. Maywall looking for elimination. Gas popping the High Noon, trying to zone them out. And again, the shield. An excellent pin combination with the High Noon to eliminate that shield. CYB falling though to K, and K picking up the elimination. DPS show on the side of Multicoasters is the name of the game, as they are carrying Multicoasters to hold on to this point.
K shooting out, taking names. I mean, the combos right now coming out of Powerhouse are great, but it's not enough. Phase 3, all about those reinforcements. You gotta get the fast picks. Picks came in too slow. K was allowed that vertical kind of like defense going over. Point only gets to the halfway point. Either way, Multicoasters do have a good defense, but a lot of ults coming up for Powerhouse. Coming up here, Earthshatter's going to have a big play, but High Noon already coming out from the beginning. Going on to the opposing end, they're playing aggressive. They're shooting at the shield. Not enough. Very good defensive play coming out from Powers, but now they've got a chance here. Going off to the right, they're able to see K off, but no defense for his team. Fatty Shaddy is an old-friend, you say Ogre Punisher. Just able to do so much going forward, holding left here.
Frank, a huge jab by Ogre Punisher. They were able to try to catch K out in that early elimination, but they did not see the shatter coming on the side of Ogre Punisher. They weren't ready for it. CYB wasn't there to block with a shield, and they are punished by the Punisher.
And these amplification matrices are just so menacing. Coming in from the back, already trying to High Noon from gas, but not able to see anything. I think yet not able to get anything going forward. It's back to congestion as Graviton heads to the point. May ult right on top of it, able to push back. Shoot, come on, Multicoasters going in from the behind. They're actually able to do it. The combination of Graviton just doing too much damage, the team is scattered right now. Powerhouse are not able to get themselves together and push themselves to 30 seconds. It's not a bad push. 75% of the way in, their ultimates are almost the finish, but I'm not sure if they can do it.
And Frask is on the Zarya, catches Lilac again. Lilac 1% away from the beat drop to keep his team supported through a Graviton. Wasn't there, and now we're rolling into this last team fight. Powerhouse has to make a play here.
Going in with Sound Barrier, they're very high in HP right now. High Noon in the background from K. The moment that drops, they gotta be careful. No damage coming through. They still have Diva Ultimate coming in the back. They're holding it. They're looking for something here. CYB's shield is about to go down. Double shield. May going in front. Full Earth Shatter coming out from Ogre Punisher, but the Diva ult coming in from the background. All kills coming in the blue. Wow. Unfortunate, and it's just left to just the high HP people here as they try to stagger off. But wow, 2 just huge plays coming for both sides, with Multicoasters coming on top.
Unfortunate for Powerhouse, not finishing the map, all 3 points on King's Row. Huge difference in ultimate economy. Multicoasters was always, I would say, always on top of that, of ultimates. They were getting them just slightly faster than the supports on Powerhouse sides, causing them problems with dragon grab combos for Afrask and Irie. Irie gave some big eliminations. The DPS on side multi-coasters are definitely putting a show for us on JJ.
Yeah, and I mean, at the end there, it almost seemed like that was a powerhouse win. The Maywall did cut off Ogre Punisher, but he had just that trump card at the end, a full shatter on towards the enemy team. Diva ult basically was not able to get anything. I think maybe if it got a few kills, that would have been just the star difference, but it didn't happen. Either way, pushing towards a hold, hitting to phase 3 is still something good, but it doesn't allow for that overtime kind of safety barrier. So right now, they got to pull on just either an amazing attack to be able to hit that third phase, or on the opposing end, Powerhouse just has to pull beautiful defense. And it looks like they're basically going for the same thing, some type of death ball comp.
We're still running this Rush Death Ball comp. Speed boost from Toxic Plums on the side of Lucio is going to help them. The multi-coasters get in here onto this point and Rush look for eliminations. Big difference here with Afrask on the Zarya and the Pigeon on the Diva. Two really different compositions, even though those are only one hero difference there. The Zarya applies those bubbles to protect the team when the Pigeon doesn't have the bubbles, just a defense matrix, as CYB almost gets caught out with a flashbang at both teams. They're looking to use some damage and build some ultimates, and Gaz finds Irie with the headshots in the backline, but picks are being traded. Hey!
Jesus.
Find the elimination.
Yeah, off to the flank. K able to get 2 kills off to the side, just going towards Hotel. Very risky. No shields coming in, but nobody was dealing with them. Only dealing with them up to the end. That was a loss. That was a clear loss for multi-coasters. It felt like they were separated there, but that separation was key. Phase 1 done.
Separated as Gas looking, focusing on backline. K was able to flank around and get some picks that are uncontested. The Pigeon wasn't able to sweep around there and protect him and pressure him. K already 20% away from an ultimate here.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, going forward, it's a little bit difficult. That play was a little bit unaggressive. Now, right now, over on Powerhouse, they've got kind of like the front line here. They're going to be holding up the wall. They've also got the ultimates to hold. I would put the damage fully on them. It was only K that really did so much, so that High Noon's kind of behind. But on the defense, I think it's going to be a little bit hard getting to this phase 2.
Yeah, that's the High Noon on the high ground. He's looking to build it up. That's a drop. The Graviton's being committed. Now Gas with his own High Noon. A huge shatter from the side of Ogre Punisher. Everyone down and Toxic picking up the double melee kill. The double elimination. K with a punch of himself. Everyone's punching out here, finding the eliminations on multi-coaster's side.
Yeah, no, K again. Like, it's hard to see. When you see a death ball, you expect everyone to be behind that Reinhardt, but early on, K is not sticking behind, and he never has. You look at the defense, and he has been on Powerhouse's flank consistently, so it almost isn't a surprise. Going to the end of phase 2, Powerhouse are looking to do something. They've got May Ultimate, no doubt looking to use it aggressively at the beginning. Amplification Matrix to start. K already putting High Noon to kind of push back. Oh, low Reinhardt shield takes him out of the way as it hits an ally and then him right after. Kills coming into the blue right now, and it's just going to the end. Calculated wins here. High Zarya shield damage just going straight through onto Powerhouse. Phase 2 done.
Oz on the Baptista side of multi-coaster. An excellent last-minute immortality field to protect K, to get that High Noon elimination on CYB, take him out of the fight, and allowing not much pressure to be followed up on multi-coasters as they're rounding this first corner looking to finish this map.
We're looking at the end here, and right now Powerhouse have a lot. They have Diva Ultimate, but Diva out of the way. He had to ult onto the point as he was taken out. Sound Barrier, try to keep the team alive. They're scrambling for as much damage as possible as they hold a lot of shield. Opposing defensive Sound Barrier coming from multi-coasters, able to take out Zarya. That's a good reset. That was scary, though. Losing your Diva so soon, that was something out the window.
Pigeon just using the ultimate just to reset, get a fresh met, get back in the fight quickly. Might have been a saving grace or side of Powerhouse. But multi-coasters, they have 4 minutes and 20 seconds to push this all the way here. Gas using a High Noon. Walls off the Ryan's a problem. Gas finding 2 eliminations on K and Toxic, and that's another team fight done and in the books for Powerhouse. They need a couple more of those to secure this win.
Agreed, and they've got a good rotation going here, but they have to be careful. They're allowing multi-coasters to have such a bank right now. Graviton's going to be coming after Dragon right after to finish it off, and this could be the last push. They're already at the end practically. 3 minutes, 50 seconds, all the room they need to basically push forward. It's going to be difficult here. They have to choose the fight correctly. Even in the back line, looking for something. Application Matrix in the back, or Shadow Raver, they take out multi-coaster shield. They've separated them. AWOL not causing them to be able to do any damage, but they still haven't used anything. Graviton's coming. Dragon's coming. Something is coming, and it's coming with High Noon on K. Application Matrix in the backside, so much damage. No shield for the team. The beautiful combo coming out. May taken out. McCree taken out, and now multi-coasters are just kind of wasting everything. It's harsh as the Diva right now is holding the point, not being taken out. So much time for reinforcements here. This is a hard one.
Much time for reinforcements that we see CYB switching over to the ball just to be able to touch on point. A huge blizzard being lobbed in from downtown, trying to keep them off the point so the respawns can come back in. It does that. It allows CYB to get on the point. CYB picking up this area. Now Lucio slammed on the ground, focused down Gas with the High Noon, looking for more, and the bomb on top doesn't find anyone. Gas finding Ogre Punisher out of nowhere. The spawns are coming back in, and Powerhouse will be holding this with 2 minutes and 40 seconds left for Multicoaster to push this. JJ, I've seen stranger things happening on Kings Row, that 4 or 5 minutes rolling in just right around corner, and teams just cannot finish it.
Nope. And Lilac right now just got a sound barrier on the opposing and Amplification Matrix. This match is going to go on. 2 minutes, 20 seconds, and we're back to square one. This is exactly the amount of time that Multicoasters wants to push the point, but they're against a team that's just growing their ultimates so successfully right now. On the opposing, and no ultimates but sound barrier basically coming up, so it's all mechanical. Who's going to win the shield war here? And right now, Powerhouse are looking great. They're looking high shield high. Oh no, but Ogre Punisher able to take out CYP. Amplification Matrix on the return. Dragon Strike on the backside, forcing the team back. No extra kills coming out, as somehow Diva stays alive the entire way through that, and they're just pushing through with sheer damage right now. Sound barrier to keep the team alive. Reinforcements have to come into Powerhouse wants to keep this.
And the ball's rolling in again, switching out to the stall of K with a free High Noon K supporting knee. Afrats is going to have another Graviton here. That should secure it as Gas falls and Lectra falls and Diva gets out. Multicoasters will be securing this first point on Kings Row, taking a lead in our series 1-0. And JJ, excellent performance from Irie and K on the side. Multicoaster DPS side. Ogre Punisher picking up the play of the game here. A great rhyme, probably a huge shot play, as we see right here, perfectly timed. Wow. That flank shatter, they were looking for K on the side. They eliminated him, but they weren't accounting for Punisher to punish their backline. Irie and K are putting on a shove for us on the side of Multicoaster.
And I mean, it was just like DPS. All in the time.
K and Irie, just great DPS on the side of Multicoasters.
Yeah, no, agreed. I'm sorry. It seems like I'm lagging a little bit here, so I may be coming on and off. But yeah, no, I mean, it's all about just those combos that were coming out there in the end, and Multicoasters had it going up. The game was basically set for them, but what defense coming out from Powerhouse there at the end. That was even a bigger surprise, just able to keep basically an entire 2 minutes. So there's kind of like the difference. If they had a much better phase 1 and phase 2, they hadn't gotten so snowballed, that could have been a very different match. But either way, we're going to be pushing on to the next map. The away team gets to choose now. Powerhouse chose Kings Row, so now Multicoasters get their choice of the next map.
Yes, and they're going to be choosing between Rialto, Escort map, or Anubis, our 2CP assault map. We'll see which one Powerhouse selects here. They should be selected just in a moment, as it looks like there's some confusion here.
Yeah, for home should have chosen first map. So there does seem to be a little bit of an issue, but let's correct it here. No. Actually, it changed.
Oh, it did change.
Yeah.
Okay. Excellent match here. We thank you, everyone, joining the chat. Again, if you would like to, if you can see some big plays, some play the game, some clips, please provide some clips here. And you can send it to our Discord. And JJ, correct me if I'm wrong, but there's some prizes that they could win for Clip of the Week, is there not?
Yes, sorry, just deliberating with the teams, but yeah, we've got the UGC Vite plays. I think number 2, if I'm not mistaken, Xiuna, if you know, yeah, yeah. 5. Do you say? 25, yeah, 25 Blizzbucks to beat anybody who has a highlight or play from a UGC game coming out in these next weeks. Post them on Twitter, hashtag UGC Vite Plays 2, if I'm not mistaken. Make sure in the announcements that you're logging that correctly. And the winner, 25 Blizzbucks for weeks 3 and 4.
Excellent. That sounds exciting. So get those clips in that you see during the match. Get those clips, send them to our Twitter with that hashtag, and you might be a lucky winner this week for Clip of the Week. Going to Anubis 2CP. Personally not a fan 2CP Assault Mavs, but it's in a rotation this week. Anubis, Temple of Anubis going to Egypt. And I'm curious to see what compositions we can see here. I personally would love to see a Tor. Tor would be exciting. But
Yeah, we tend to see kind of like that those different types of plays. I've seen a little bit of Torb. It does come out in intermediate. I've actually seen it in Premiere. That was a little crazy. But going off what we've seen so far, it's going to be a little bit scary for Powerhouse to kind of have. They showed so much going into that Phase 3 defense, but Phase 1 and Phase 2, they just got pushed very harshly against multi-coasters. So they may have the advantage here on an assault type map. Though we'll just have to see if this map provides any form of advantages that Powerhouse have practiced.
yes, I am excited to see Temple of Anubis and what strats come out here. Might see some Widow or Ashe on the long range and high ground that McCree might have some trouble getting to quickly. Ashe and Widow can get to those high grounds much quicker. Also, we can see a Torp here rolling out on throwing out that turret on the high ground, causing some problems from a distance. Maybe some double bubble, some dive, aggressive in the backline to push in. I don't know. There's a bunch of options on Temple of Anubis. I'm curious to see what the teams roll out here.
Oh, definitely. Strong kind of DPS plays coming out from Powerhouse, though. Oh, no, I'm sorry, Multi-Coasters. I think the team names are switched for us. Yeah, no problem. But Irie 2 and Cage is just kind of like popping off. Irie really good at just taking advantage of the death ball kind of war on his Hanzo. He kind of forgets, or he bypasses somehow those shield plays. I'm not sure if he's shooting between the times that Reinhardt is fire striking or actually taking kind of like the vertical advantage. So that's really cool to see. On the opposing end, K's like, freak the death ball. I'll just walk on the other side and shoot from these open sidelines and alleyways, these dark alleyways where nobody's going to be looking at me, kind of deal. So very unorthodox gameplay coming out from Powerhouse. But on the opposing end with multi-coasters, it's very consolidated, very just kind of these practiced clear pushes going with synergies and kind of combos, and it's hard to say what comes out on top.
Yeah, we saw that in the big difference with Multicoaster running the Hanzo and the Zarya over the Diva, able to run that drag, grab, and combo that can just eliminate a team and just win the team fight if the Lucio doesn't have the sound barrier or if the Baptiste doesn't have the immortality field. Definitely we'll see if that's an issue still going into this map. Powerhouse will be represented by the blue team, and Multicoasters will be represented by the red team this time. As we get into our map, Temple Anubis. A fun little map. Lots of high grounds, lots of angles, lots of flanks. We might see McCree here flank on the attack on the side of Multicoasters or Powerhouse here. Like I said, JJ, there's tons of possibilities for Temple Anubis, what they can run.
We could even probably see a Widowmaker, but Widowmaker's honestly one of the harder ones. You have to have such a strong mechanical play to kind of bring her out and make her useful in almost any form of fight, because vision just isn't enough. It's not a High Noon, it's not a dragon, so coming over for the defense right now, and if I'm not mistaken, Powerhouse coming into the line. Looks like they're going with that, double shield, double old shield, basically. Orisa Sigma, Remember, reduced. Lots of reduced barriers here, but either way, they're probably looking to have a very movie type composition. Just high kind of windows of uh, of opportunity, and instead of another kind of dedicated healer, Lechuga, like the name, I think if I'm not mistaken, Lettuce, coming out with the Zen for an extra power boost.
I really like this lineup that Powerhouse is bringing out here. This double shields. Orisa just got a buff that in her Fortify, she will not receive any headshots. That's a huge buff. So when she uses her Fortify ability, she's a walking tank and takes no damage whatsoever. Along with Squirrel Ben, who I think Squirrel has been subbed in on the Junkrat. That spam in these small corridors, whichever way that Multicoasters takes, is going to cause a huge problem. Just like this, just spamming in, almost finding the McCree on IRE is going to cause a huge problem here. I'm really liking this lineup.
Yeah, those shields aren't lasting long at all, but a two-prong attack coming out here as Ogre Punisher just looking for the attack. On the right side, coming in as the Monkey just going, Ogre Punisher hitting all those squishes in the backside. Immortality Field to keep them alive, Batiste always to keep them, and it doesn't work. Ogre Punisher out of the way, all damage is going towards the right. They've got an Echo in the background, so they do have to be careful here, but kills are coming into the blue, and it looks like Powerhouse holds.
And Squirrel Ben pushing the team back, finds the stacker kill on Oz, getting out of there on the Mercy, finds the elimination, and just spamming over in the right room where that Mega Health Pack is, while Toxic and Frask tries to get out, finds the elimination and pressure on them. The Stormguard's going to be a huge problem as he almost has a tire rate going this fight.
Yeah, no, agreed. But on the opposing end, Toxic Plumes, he already has his nano boost, so that's going to be a big boost in not only damage but defense, and lots of time being wasted here. Multicoast is looking for the initial attack, but lots of healed and HP to go through. Immortality Field already off cooldown. It's there to keep those squishies alive. Nano boosted Zarya in the background. First target, no doubt for the team right now as they're trying to take him out. And that fight does look over. Valkyrie is hit. It's a 3v4 right now. High Noon on the right side. Opa able to take out Echo. And yeah, no, it's definitely over from here, but dang, it's a little bit of a harsh one. 1 minute, 40 seconds onto phase one, but lots of ultimates already ready.
I was trying to get out there. Probably the Valkyrie trying to win that team fight, gets the res off, but the High Noon from Opar was able to close that out. CYB also pick up the eliminations, and I think Toxic meant to hit Ogre diving in, but he hit 8 Frask instead and was not able to sustain Ogre. But they're pushing in here into a window. We find 2 early eliminations right away.
And it's the tanks of all people. You're talking Zarya Barrier. You're talking Monkey Barrier. Amplification Matrix. On top of all the damage that they've been just dumping into that corner, it killed 2 tanks. That's ridiculous. These guys are definitely a powerhouse here as they've just set up onto this kind of like vertical area. Giving just a little bit of time for Multicoasters just to think, wow, a rock deflecting the Monkey backward, not allowing that vertical advantage. Sigma ultimate in the background to try to hit, able to catch Mercy on the front line. Sigma copied by Echo. Double tanks going to the front line. Monkey using to look his ultimate to hit the team off. Squishies on the point. Immortality Field and Graviton Transcendence to keep them alive. Lots of things used right now for the defense as everybody's just scrambled. Sigma into the backline. Canceled as Echo did not have enough time to use her ultimate. High Noon coming from the back. Only 1 killed. CYB as kills come in the red. Phase 1 hitting its ultimate end. 15 seconds left as it's just the scramble for damage as Blue are getting their kills back. DPS as Opa are able to get themselves back, but already out of the way. Sigma onto the point, and it looks like at the last second, Multicoasters are able to secure phase 1.
And that's what they needed to get cap point 1, and now they get some extra time to move to point B. An excellent play by LeChug on the Zenyatta, though. Popping his ultimate and getting pulled into the Graviton up on the ledge to keep his team heal, but it was not enough. Irie on the flank finds elimination on the High Noon, and then the rest is history as the Multicoasters capture point A, and they are trying to capture point B, secure 2 points on Temple of Anubis.
Yeah, 2 minutes 40 seconds, lots of time to work something into the books in order to get forward. Problem: defense, dude, have a lot to hold on to. They multi-coasters use so much to push that attack forward. Powerhouse now get to sit back, relax, and just do their best with what they have. High noon, bongos, amplification matrix, so much to work into this attack. Bongos to start off, lots of damage as the high noon, the higher noon, if you will, is amplified. CYB able to get to as the team just pushes forward and gets off these staggers. They gotta be careful here. Lots of but it's finished.
The Iron Dude from Opar on the high ground was able to push the team back and allow CYB and his tank partner Pigeon roll in and pressure the team. CYB find the eliminations. On the side of Powerhouse with that bongo, 1 minute and 45 seconds left. Toxic on the side. Multicoaster has the nano, could put that on Punisher and try to get that Hammer Earth Shatter ultimate, but they're going to be walking into a Baptiste window from Crom, and that is going to be a problem after we get a huge halt and flip from Combo. An excellent combo coming in from the side of CYB and Pigeon. CYB and Pigeon seem to be very in sync with their abilities and ultimates.
That was scary. Just one ultimate to change the game. Very good play. Very good for sustain. Already Powerhouse showing just a very strong defense, very different from what we saw in their opposing game. So this is going great for them. 1 minute left, 2 fights right now for multi-coasters as they look for something. They gain nothing going to that match, and that's what they need to do. Amplification makes it going to that dragon to kind of distract them, but they push forward faster than the dragon would allow. 40 seconds left, and this is basically their last fight here as they look for the opening window to make this attack fight. Zarya trying to get her charge. Mini grabs to try to pull the team out. Squirrel been able to take out Ari. Harsh for multi-coasters right now as they look to do something. Amplification matrix to get the team a little bit higher in damage. Graviton in the background, able to catch up, but Transcendence to counter. Difficult. They need to choose this fight because there's only 20 seconds left.
And we saw like Chugga, Lachuga in the back by Spawn. Had the Transcendence, they knew it was coming, they knew they were ready for it, they had the trans perfectly timed to keep the team ready, and now with 10 seconds left, multi-coasters are just rushing in here. They have to rush in, the ball keeps the rock keeps the ball on point, and they're rushing in, and Fraz finds dead in the back line, and now both tanks dead, and Lechea finding the elimination on K. The spawn point's too close, and all hope of trying to capture point B is gone, as Powerhouse will hold on to point B, a Temple of Anubis.
Now, talk about a powerhouse, man. I mean, you're looking at bongos, you're looking at amplification matrix, you're looking at Zenyatta power boost. Like, wow, that's a power comp right there. So I like that. That's very scary to fight against. There almost seemed like there was no weak points mechanically that could be taken against that team going up towards the end. Very calculated win going up there. Just the right ultimates coming out at the right time, nothing wasted. On the opposing end, though, they've got to show up with a good attack. They've set themselves up for a full game of Anubis. If they're able to cap both points, this map is theirs.
Powerhouse rolling out, doing a bit of stretching in the first map. On King's Row, had to get the Kings out. First match of the night. But coming out strong here with this double shield composition, and it looks like I'm not sure if they can run this on a tag because it might be too difficult to actually get to a point. But we'll have to see. They might be running this. I like the Zenyatta on that defense, JJ. It was the Transcendence was able to protect them from any Graviton, from Frask. They were ready for anything that they were thrown at them. Multicoasters just had a struggle going to that damage output from the side of Powerhouse's Zen. Zen was a great pick on defense, and they're running this double shield composition as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, and now they get the opposing end. It looks like instead of going for a strong defense on a high vertical point, they're going with a dive. They're going with a team that can move very quick, have that Ashe power boosted up top, dealing lots of damage. There's not much hit scan that can make much difference against that Ashe, other than Opa in the backside. But it's difficult sidelines for him to kind of take advantage of. Going forward, it looks like Powerhouse have chosen to go towards the right. Perfect maneuver, considering they're only facing half a team at this point. Echo in the backside doing a lot of damage toward the Ashe. Already the Pigeon starting it up strong as the tank line versus a Powerhouse is just too strong. 5v3 practically going towards the front line, and it's just slowly decimating this team. They're trying their best to fight kind of like these guerrilla wars. Are we able to get one? Are we able to get two? DPS and sustain out of the way, but there's too much damage on their team. It's only a DPS at this point, holding the high ground. Two marks hit, 3v4 at this point. Actually, no, only 2v4 against the Powerhouse, and the point is capped. They're pushing on the phase 2 with 5 minutes and 50 seconds. These staggers are looking too big for them right now.
As Crom picks up the Mercy elimination on Toxic right at the end, and you see that K was playing the Tracer, trying to find the elimination on Opar or one of the supports in the backline, but Opar was able to put too much pressure on, push K out of the fight. There was nothing to worry about on the side of the support line at Powerhouse, as they were able to focus, keeping the tanks up, and they were able to roll in, capture point B, first attack, 5 minutes and 20 seconds left, and they're rolling in with some ultimates here. This could be very dangerous.
Double power ultimates, bongos, amplification matrix. This is going to be the scariest push in history as bongos goes up. Application matrix goes up right after. Lots of damage going down the line, but not enough. Sigma ultimate to pull the team up, allow the team to go in. Jesus Christ. The Pigeon and Alpha just dealing so much right now. No tanks right now. It's a 3v1 against the Mercy, not able to get his res off. High Noon holding on the point. There's nothing left. They didn't even need the whole point. They needed the first chevron as Powerhouse takes the second map, and we're going on to map 3.
Map 3, we got a game here. Super excited to bring all this Overwatch content. That's Pigeon finding the play of the game. I'm sure I already know what this is. An excellent pull combo from CYB, and then the follow-up from the Pigeon. Get it in there. Find the eliminations on the support and the rest of the team. Securing the team kill. An excellent combo from CYB and the Pigeon. A well-deserved play of the game from the Pigeon.
If that isn't a Vite Ramen play, I don't know what it is, because that's definitely a big one coming up towards this week. So as we said before, definitely enter those guys, because I bet there's a lot of plays out there going throughout all our games, and they deserve their recognition. Map 3, though. What are we looking at? Is it Rialto?
Map 3, yes, Rialto. We're looking at a escort map of Rialto for our map 3, and I'm pretty sure Rialto will not be tied. Rialto escort map cannot be tied unless in very, very odd, peculiar ways. If no team pushes it at all, then there could be a tie. But Rialto, our escort map, third map of the night, we should have a victor here, whether it's the Powerhouse or Multi-Coasters. I'm excited to see. Powerhouse came out very strong, and also in this map, Rialto, we can see that double shield composition still, and Multi-Coasters will have to deal with it if they bring it out.
Yeah. No, I mean, it's a very different type of gameplay. I love the diversity of maps because we really get to see kind of like the differences. It isn't shoehorned into one type of variety. So going into this map, we're just going pure payload here. A combination of King's Row and Anubis as we look, or actually just a complete variety of phase 2 and 3 of King's Row, I'm sorry, as we just get to see the momentum that these teams are able to create. No, you're right. Like, it's something I always forget. Map 1 is always a warm-up. You can never trust it when it comes to, you know, what these teams can bring out. And dang, does Powerhouse have a powerhouse. I really love, it's unique. I don't think I've seen it before. At least I've never called it out. The amount of power-based units that these teams are using. Amplification Matrix, Bongos, and Zenyatta damage. What is that? Like 250% extra damage? That makes Mercy pistol damage killer. You know, like more killer than it already is. So it's fascinating, and I love to see those unique combos coming out. Either way, Multi-Coasters, I mean, they've shown a strong defense. They've shown just a very consistent push. Rialto is such a different map compared to Anubis' kind of like tight quarters. So that may be the difference this team needs. Never
underestimate the Mercy pistol, especially if there is a bongo and window of application matrix. I don't know the numbers, JJ, but I will tell you this: it's probably deadly. We saw at one time with the window and bongo out, take down and melt two tanks. Ryan and Zarya on the side of Multicoasters just melted them down, and then Powerhouse was able to clean that fight up with the rest of the team without any tanks. That is a scary combo. I'm loving seeing this Orisa back in the meta. With the Sigma, you can also run the Orisa with the Reinhardt, with a Lucio playing this very fast death ball, and it's exciting. It's exciting to see this double shield meta after its nerfs back, after it was nerfed into the ground basically, but it seems to be coming back with this Orisa buff.
No, agreed. I mean, there's just some nerfs that kind of almost have zero place in some cases. I think I recently saw that Reaper got a nerf as well, but we'll see if that makes any difference. Ashe was a big one, if I'm not mistaken, and that really hasn't changed many players' perspectives, though I will personally say I've yet to see any fruition come out of Ashe either, so it's a difficult one to say. I mean, Bob is just so strong sometimes, having that seventh member contest, do damage, just distract the enemy team, but we'll see.
We'll see. As for the Bob, as long as he does something, as Ashe always shuts out for him to do something, we'll see if he can do something, but I'm excited to see Rialto. Such a pretty map. Always take a little boat ride. Never personally, I've never been on a boat just like this going through the city, but it sounds quite relaxing, JJ. I would say so myself.
It's definitely an experience to have, especially on a nice, cool night. I imagine the Venetian kind of qualities make it almost a very different experience. Luckily, in San Antonio, we have something called a river walk, so that's always nice. To kind of, it's nothing compared to this kind of lavishness and culture, but it's definitely a nice experience.
Yeah, so we see Powerhouse will be representing the red team in our third map of Rialto, and Multicoasters will be on the blue side, and we see Eve being subbed in on the side of Multicoasters, and Eve is a 4,200 top 500 support, but he'll be playing tank here. I think he has a High Masters, Grandmasters tank, but very good awareness. We'll see as they're trying to make a sneaky play here. This should be interesting.
Very forward. Oh, it's a surprise. As double shield going against them, the shield team does not have enough time going forward as they go for their initial target. Lechuga already out of the way. Less support, less damage going to the front line. Now a tank out of the way. Gassed in the back line, somehow hitting from somewhere. Where is this? Do not see him, but either way, a harsh place to be. The point is held, somewhere extra 30 seconds, lots of ult charge canes on both sides. This basically just adds time a little bit to Multicoasters.
Ultimate charge gained on both sides. K switching over to a Widow, so it'll be a double sniper battle here on Rialto. K and Irie and the snipers. Irie on the Hanzo, K on the Widow. Squirrel playing the Hanzo on the side of Powerhouse, and Gas playing the Widow there. As that early push gives Oz a very early window. K losing the battle against Gas on the Widow counterpart. Now Dragon's being used. Finds Oz in the back lane, but a huge share by Eve looking for a follow-up, but there's no one there as he falls. Eve falls and a Frask falls as well. And Powerhouse looking to capture point A right here as Irie is getting caught out a little bit from the rest of the team. Toxic has to get some space.
Yeah. And there's just not sure you guys can hear me. I'll pause you.
Yes, finding an elimination on K as well. Another lost fight here, but the bomb is coming in. Is there any shield there? Yes, there is. Everyone else is able to get out. I refine the Sigma on the Pigeon, trying to push in, but there's this window that just covered the entire point. Eliminations coming in on both sides. Dragon being used by Ivory. K, a fast switch over. Dubitz finds the punch on CYB, and it looks like Multicoasters are able to hold this barely. The fast switch on K on the Doomfist, able to get back to the fight, find 2 eliminations to support his team, and it looks like he is going to be sticking on this until the next team fight.
Yeah, sorry, I was a little bit behind there, but Gast able to kind of win the sniper battles here, so it's a very good switch for to just really reinforce the front line. The sniper comp wasn't really hitting either way. Well, Powerhouse doesn't really have much room here to kind of finish this point, so Multicoasters have to pull something. Lots of defense matrices. Sigma able to get 3 people up in the sky. Actually, I think it's 4 people right now. Doomfist hitting towards the front line to create a little bit of room. Somehow getting hit by Sound here all the way from the left. Gast able to take out a little bit of the DPS. This is just sniping from the backside. Dragon to create even more room towards the front. Sigma just doing his best with the pigeon to try to hit up, and only 2 left, but we've been here before. Somehow Multicoasters just keep this coaster going. It just keep going, and I'm not sure when it'll stop. Ira in the backside trying to dedicate as much of the keys out of the way. Now Diva remaining, and I was about to say, it looks like Multicoasters are finally backing up, but now they've got a Hammond, the king of sustain, but King no more, as we head to phase 2.
Multicoaster always tries to keep the roller coaster coasting, but this ride is over as Powerhouse rolls into point A. The ride is over, and they have to get off and regroup to get another ticket, JJ, to try to coast a little bit more.
Yeah, Irie switching to Widowmaker. That's fascinating instead of the Hanzo. Looks like he's not feeling those arrows too harshly, but against them is a double sniper team that is just getting them out of the way. The kind of like the natural gameplay right now the Multicoasters are pulling out is having a harsh time as they're separating, as they're just slowly being picked apart by this team that is not able to only act behind their double barriers, but also act behind their snipers.
So CYB came through the high ground, got above the team of Powerhouse. Powerhouse got behind the team. Multicoasters trying to regroup here as they're rolling in 1.11 meters away from capturing this point in Multicoasters, as Irene finds his counterpart this time on Gaz. Irene pick up a second elimination on Kron, finding the eliminations, trying to help his team out to hold this point. Oz find double, triple, finding 3 eliminations on the support line of Baptiste. Baptiste, he can be a DPS too. He can help the team out and find the eliminations as well.
Yeah, difficult one for Powerhouse. I was about to say, I think the Pigeon and the Gas, they were showing off a little bit there. Oh, well, maybe they're back, you know? They're finally showing that they are the DPS in line. We've seen so much out of K, so much out of Irie, and now we're seeing so much coming from Gast and Squirrel as they contest.
Oh, no. K looking to find the window. He wasn't ready. Except he goes straight to a Dragons. K was sneaking around Ray and finds Gas out of nowhere, but now K falls to Squirrel, and with 2 eliminations coming on the side of Powerhouse, that might be a problem for Multicoasters, so hold on to this point. Squirrel finding another elimination on E, but the main tank down after the shatter. There's not enough follow-up from that. Powerhouse trying to close this out here. Flux being used, committed from the Pigeon, but the beat is there from top to keep everyone alive. Irie ready to find his counterpart, this time wins the sniper battle as K jumps back in on the Doomfist, showing a presence and causing a problem for Multicoasters.
Yeah, that's a hard one to lose. Irie got caught out by the Sigma ultimate, and it literally gave him the height advantage in that fight. He had so much vision up in the sky, winning that sniper battle easily. 30 seconds left already as we're up to the last fight for this team. They're going forward with exactly what they came in with. Dragon R is going to be coming up for this next fight, but that looks like it's going to be it. On the opposing side, Amplification Matrix, maybe Graviton. Dragon to start it up, Immortality failed to save them. Already off the right, K out of the way. 1 DPS away from Multicoasters as they kind of push forward to the best of their ability.
Yes, falling low. Squirrel also picking up Eve again. All the eliminations are red as the last person to touch for Multicoasters is a Frask on the Zarya. Powerhouse will be capturing point B, but they only have 1 minute and 30 seconds left to push it all the way to the end. 1, maybe 2 team fights if they are quick about it, as Irie wins the sniper battle this time and Squirrel finds K the elimination there, but Irie is free, only has a Hanzo to deal with down the sight lines, so look for more eliminations on the side of Multicoasters. Multicoasters rolling in here, Graviton being used, only grabs the Orisa. doesn't grab anyone else, and Flux coming out of the side of Pigeon to help the rest of the team. Irene finding Squirrel, the sniper on their side. Gas finding his counterpart of Irene, but Multicoasters pushing the Powerhouse teams back, and it looks like they're going to have to regroup with Pigeon falling.
So much chunkier with that Zarya. Those Zarya barriers just add a surprise amount of like combat power going to the front line. So very nice aggressive plays coming out from Multicoasters. The problem is though that there's kind of like just it's almost dedicated to mechanical play in this backside. Gast and IRE have so much to say in these fights as to what's going to be working. Right now, it's going to be a lot of play when it comes to bongos. When it comes to amplification matrix, both come out for both sides of the team as they try their best to kind of contest both sides. Dragon to separate the team, and Mortality Field to try to keep KYB alive. Eevee somehow able to get gassed all on his own. That was like a 1v5. Batman did not pull back. Transcendence to keep the team alive. 5 seconds left. We're hitting overtime, and right now Powerhouse have to look for something. They're getting hit against by a Soundbira. Yet again, another aggressive push by Multicoasters as they just decimate this attack.
Eve finding the fire strike all the way from the cart, finds Gas in the backline, takes him out, and eliminates him from the fight. No more sniper pressure on the side of Powerhouse right there at that last fight, and Multicoasters will behold a Powerhouse on Rialto only to just about halfway to point C to finish the map. Now Multicoasters has the chance to finish this and take their win, putting them at 4-0 undefeated. Each of these teams want to stay undefeated moving into the rest of the season. It can matter as it comes down to it near playoffs. We have to see. We have a game here, JJ. Powerhouse and Multicoasters all the way to the end.
Yeah, if I'm not mistaken, we're back to square one. Kings Row. Literally exactly the same. Only hit phase 3, half of phase 3. Multicoasters now have their attack. If they're able to push it just successfully, just ridiculously, they'll see an exact when they saw in Kings Row. But on the opposing, we saw the Powerhouse, and here it is. I mean, yet again, Batiste, Zenyatta, and the bongos from Marissa. It's going to be big if they're able to somehow hold on this very vertical map. But this is just so different from Anubis. I'm not sure if they're going to have the same type of advantages here.
See that Multicoasters look a little bit more comfortable on these escort maps, moving a payload, able to rotate in some off angles as K is coming out on the McCree. We know K likes to do a little bit of wandering on the back line and do a little bit of walking around, enjoying the sceneries, and try to get a nice angle as he's going inside with the rest of the team here. But the payload's moving around, reaches the first corner. Orisa, CYB is ready to stop it. And now the McCree on the high ground is posing a problem, and he has sights over everyone. K on the high ground. Lacheka falls to the Zarya, but Gas finds K on the high ground. You can't just sit up there. K, Gas will pick you off. But we are almost to point A right here. So we are rolling in. Gas on the flank looking for elimination, but Irie is ready and sees him trying to find a counterpart, but a huge window of amplification matrix on the side of Powerhouse very early, and that's what they need to push in. And Squirrel cleans it up right here with the final 3 eliminations.
Yeah, the Powerhouse pops. The classic Multicoaster push, mind you, very aggressive, very consistent, exactly what you need to do against this team. A team that's supposed to stand still is being forced off their shields. Perfect play coming from Multicoaster's problem. Allowed too much gain on any of Powerhouse's abilities. The moment Application Matrix comes up, the moment Bongos comes up, the moment Transcendence comes up, anything, it's going to be huge for this team. Random pause, but I believe it was a problem. No problem. As the game just go back, and Multicoasters are continuing their attack again, but they have Earth Shatter this time. On the opposing, the Pigeon with Powerhouse does have Sigma Ultimate to stop any form of aggressive attack that they may form of plan. The sniper battle is going strong off on the sidelines. There's a guerrilla war happening behind as both teams try to set their forward battles here. Sigma fighting off on the flank, very risky as they push on them. Application Matrix a little bit too forward. Sigma Alta push somebody to the sky, and now we've got an actual pause.
Yes, it seems so. We have a pause here. There are technical difficulties, but we'll get that pause situated as 2 minutes left to the time bank. It looks like we have some internet issues or connections here.
Yeah, if I'm not mistaken, you can't actually do it mid-fight, but well, we'll have to deliberate that. You're definitely not allowed to do it mid-fight. Pause canceled here as we're kind of pushed forward. It's a difficult place to be, but either way, Powerhouse did kind of push forward from here after the Sigma ultimate. They've got McCree in the backside dealt with already by Squirrel Ben, and just decimated 1 minute 40 seconds, and the Powerhouse continues. But now multi coasters are actually getting their ultimates. Graviton on the backside, Sound Barrier coming up. They're still holding on to Earthshatter. Irie to kind of point out the entire team. Gas taking out Toxic Wounds. Beautiful. Just even staggering the team even further. That's going to be an extra 10 seconds.
Without the Lucio, with this composition, it's very slow. You need the Lucio to move through the map so you can get and engage in the fight. And with the composition that Powerhouse has, they want to just stay in one place. They want you to walk, because then they will spam you down and eliminate you before you even get there. So Toxic rejoining the team. Irie has wall hacks as they see your sight lines, but a huge dragon coming through and finds K, splitting the team up in half as Zarya is off alone on the bridge. She is in trouble and she is eliminated by Gas. And that was an excellent dragon from Squirrel, splitting the team right in half, taking them apart and causing problems. And now there's 2-3 in the backline. That's just staggered right there. There's only 30 seconds left.
Yeah,
they can't get out.
Agreed, and this is going to be just a huge stagger. It's going to be like a 20-second stagger, but they got to be careful here. They've got Sustain, they got Tank. Oh my god, and a beautiful Earthshatter coming in from the front line. Graviton against them, and now they're just pinned to a corner. It's only 3 people, okay, able to get one. Gas, now they're just kind of like in quality mode. Shield to put up, able to take out Eevee's Earthshatter. Sigma ult's not seeing anybody but Lucio, and now it's a half and half. It's a 2v3 right now. No, Powerhouse out of the way. How unfortunate. A dominating defensive performance denied its win. Wow, good job, Multicoasters.
Did Eve just get 2 shatters in a row?
Yeah.
Eve got 1 shatter to use to engage that fight to get the rest of the team out, and then a Graviton beat Trans to keep him up on from the Graviton, and Eve is just holding M1, swinging a hammer, and builds up and second shatter to close out that fight and help Multicoasters finish point A and give them a hope and a dream to push to point B.
Yeah. Now they have to be careful. Multicoasters doing their aggressive pushes as the Powerhouse sets up for the Powerhouse. There's too much room right now for the Reinhardt to make. The shield just can't make it that far as they're just dedicating all their damage in towards the front line. I love this team. This priority coming out from Powerhouse is grand, but they have to be careful. Separating a little bit, the Doomfist can do so much on his own, and that's what he's looking for. K kind of going off on the sidelines, looking for those perfect pushes, and he finds it. Able to get towards the front line and deal just so much damage towards the team. That's the problem. Even though this Powerhouse deals direct damage, they are very squishy. Multicoasters have to look for those priorities, as every single target they're looking at is an aggressive and dangerous one, and they're not able to do it.
Very squishy indeed, as K, switching over to the Doomfist, worked on the defense. See if he can make it work on attack. Very dangerous here on the second point, especially where the card is now. You see there's walls and there's pillars, lamppost boxes, all areas where K or Doomfist can punch you right into and one-shot you and eliminate you as he dives in. Dragon being committed from the side of Squirrel to keep the team zoned off. Shatter being used from Eve, and now a Graviton, but look, Chiga is there with the Trans to keep the team healed, and now elimination coming in from Squirrel. The card is moving. They need to find the card to keep it there. Gas finding the counterpart of Irie, eliminating the sniper, and E falling dangerously low, drops. Needs to get support from his teammates, does, but they are committed here. Multicoaster pushing in, finds the elimination. Both snipers taken out. Ultimates being used left and right. Toxic Plum using the beat to keep the rest of the team alive. K finding the Chica in the backline, the Zenyatta, and Multicoasters looking to close out point B so they can get this show on the road to coast into the finish line, as they are running out of time, and they finish point B, and they are only given a minute and 30 seconds left to cross this finish line, this giant gold box.
These guys are finishing it just by the seconds, ladies and gentlemen. They're barely pushing it forward over their overtimes. 1 minute and 16 is all they're allowed to finish, only half the map. Enough time as Powerhouse tries to set up before Multicoasters are allowed to push. That's the problem. Multicoasters are been allowed to push. Immortality feels out of the way. The sustain is very little for this death ball as Powerhouse look to abuse as much as they can. Earthshatter hitting the team in the back, but not Orisa. She tries to hold the best. Nobody dead. Dragon Strike on the return. A little bit too far to have any form of effect as it used in close range, as both sides are dedicating so much. Amplification Matrix on the return for Multicoasters to try to do damage, and it's working. Transcendence to keep the team alive as they're just scrambling to do any damage possible, but it isn't going to have it happen. Multicoasters, the constant, inevitable push, those random staggers of reinforcements won the day for them as they're your week 4 winners.
Multicoasters taking the week 4 win against Powerhouse. Powerhouse putting up an excellent fight, but Multicoasters coming back on top. K on the doofus, on the flank, gets in the backline, forced the Transcendence out for the Graviton Surge just a little bit too early, and find the eliminations. Iree would play the game here on Rialto. Excellent sniper of Hanzo on the side of Iree, but K coming out here on the DPS side of Multicoasters. Excellent showing from them. K, definitely gotta give K player of the game for Multicoasters and in this match.
Yeah, fascinating. I mean, again, ladies and gents, intermediate, and both sides 3-0, 3-0, and now Multicoasters up 4-0 as we look towards the opposite team now. 3-1. This ain't over though. This is barely week 4. We've got somewhere around 7 weeks when it comes to just these kind of like before hand plays, before the playoffs. So keep staying tuned, keep supporting these teams, and thank you everyone so much for coming out here today.
Thank you everyone for coming out here. All the support is appreciated for UGC. Again, if you have any clips, go ahead, send that, tweet them out with the hashtag. JJ, what's the hashtag again?
UGC Night Plays 2 at the UGC League Twitter.
Yes, that. Tweet those clips out to have a chance to win the $25 of Blizz Bucks. Again, JJ, pleasure casting with you as always.
Agreed. No, I definitely. And sadly, this might actually be one of my last ones, but we'll see. UGC will keep going every Friday, and we'll be going up all the way till the playoffs. So keep staying tuned every Friday at 8:30 EST. Everyone, have a great night. Stay safe out there, and have a good one.
See ya, everyone.